or those primaries are coming. Missouri Congressman and member of the House Armed Services Committee, Rep. Mark Alford. Sir, I hope you're as mad about this as I am.
Well, Carl, I think both of our blood pressures are high this evening. You know, I feel like I'm in a three-legged sack race trying to navigate through a minefield right now. This is not the way we should be doing business. I totally agree with you. I hate continuing resolutions. You know, this should, I think, really be a clean CR. If we're going to do a CR, possibly the aid to the farmers. We have 1,000 farmers going out of business each month in America, and they have suffered under President Biden. The high inflationary input costs, the low commodity cost. We've got to help them out somehow, but maybe put that in a separate appropriations bill.
Yes. Along
with the aid for disaster. These folks in Asheville, North Carolina area, I was there just last month. They are still suffering. They're sleeping in tents in freezing weather. So they need help. But the problem is, once you open the door to getting aid for what I think are honorable causes, the left wants to fill it up with pork. And that is what has happened here.
Well, but Congressman, like, Republicans hold the House, albeit a slim majority, and yet you have your colleagues who have no input. Have you had any input on this bill, sir? Do you know some of the things that are in it?
Well, I haven't had personal input on this. We've talked in conference about what is going to be in it. We had a meeting on that earlier this week, but it was not revealed to us the entirety, the scope of this. We are still going through this 1,500-page document in our office right now, and some of these things that you're talking about are new to me. Number one, this pay raise needs to be gone. Look, we haven't gotten a cost of living raise, but that doesn't matter. Right now, what matters is making America great again through the economic policies, reducing our deficit, and a pay raise for us is not going to cut it.
Yeah, sir, I can't tell you how glad I am. Let's be honest. Do you think this thing passes, or do you think there's been enough backlash that it just dies?
I think with President Trump's message today on social media, that we should not pass it as is. I think that is going to put the Speaker under great pressure to either put through a clean CR or do some separate spending bills. But the problem is we're out of time right now. And I will disagree with you one thing respectfully, Carl, I know we get back pay after a government shutdown. Yeah. But that would mean that my 80,000 constituents at Fort Leonard Wood right now would have to go without Christmas. That would mean that several thousand at Whiteman Air Force Base would not be able to buy Christmas presents for their children. Yeah, they would get back pay, but we cannot let our military suffer because of our incompetence in Congress.
And well, sir, respectfully to that point, you're absolutely right. But the fact of the matter is, Congress should think about that before they don't reach a consensus 2 days before the spending bill is due, right?
Carl, we should never have gotten to this point. Look, I was so proud, and I'm going to be on the Appropriations Committee next year, thank goodness. I want a seat at the table for Missouri to try to help straighten things out. But we only got 5 of the 12 appropriation bills passed on the House floor. The other 7, we couldn't get our own conference to vote for. When you don't have unity in our conference, we can't get things done. And then they want to penalize the Speaker for trying to get Democrat votes. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, if we can't do our job for the American people, I don't know what we're supposed to do. If we had gotten all 12 of those passed, we would not be standing here right now. We would not be up against the clock. And that is what is infuriating to me.
Yeah, it is crazy. Real quick, I got about 15 seconds left. The report on Matt Gaetz was voted to be released. Real quick, your take, anything on this? Nothing, Burger?
Look, I think his behavior has been not very exemplary, not a great role model for our young people. But I do like following rules. And the rule is, if you're not in Congress, you don't release the ethics report. That is the rule. Now, they voted to do that. We'll see what happens. But I like playing by the rules. And if it's black and white, as it is with the Ethics Committee, in this, if you're no longer a sitting member of Congress, that should not be released.
I think that's a fair statement, sir. All right. Representative Mark Alford, I appreciate you being on the rational side of this, sir.
Thank you, Carl. God bless.
Coming up, more on the government spending too much money. Isn't that what the Doge is intended to stop? We're going to get into that with our government gone wild next.